What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video. As always, I just want to quickly mention thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. It means a lot and I appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton and you guys get to learn something new every single day that we do this. Anyways, without further ado, we are going to jump into a question once again submitted via the Google form that you can find down in the description. I answer all of the questions. I've genuinely not answered a single one. I will answer anything about mental health, relationships. I do not give a fuck. I will talk about it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and read this one. It's super short and sweet for today's reading. So let's get into it. How do I stop feeling like I'm wasting my life and stop feeling like I'm an ultimate fuck up? I feel like I constantly am wasting my time and I don't want to do it anymore. What should I do? All right, that is a good one today. So I kind of touched on this a bit before, but I want to talk about it in the sense of our generation, Gen Z, right now. And the reason why I want to talk about that just a little bit is mainly because of the fact that Gen Z is really this first generation that we're seeing where it's really this issue where people in our generation are feeling burnt out. They're feeling like they're going through this quarter life crisis. And they feel that no matter what they do, they can't get ahead. No matter what they try, they seem to fail. No matter what, things seem to be fucking awful, right? And it seems hard. And it's really overwhelming because a lot of our generation has been told, go to college and you will end up with a good job, a loving wife, and a home. And for a lot of Gen Z, that's not the reality. A lot of people are struggling to pay their $3,000 fucking rent payments, and shit like that. And, I think that that is a very valid thing. And the truth is that in parts of my life, I felt the same way where I felt like it doesn't matter what I do. I'm a fuck up. I'm a burnout. It doesn't matter. I'm done. I give up. And ironically for me, I think what's really important to do is try to find your passion. Find something that gives you some sort of drive. And it literally could just be a hobby. And the reason why is because you need to find a way to distract yourself from what's going on inside a little bit. And the reason why I say this is because so many people, what their hobbies include currently is scrolling TikTok. I cannot tell you how many times I found myself scrolling on my phone for over an hour. Like genuinely, it is fucking terrifying. Social media is designed to be basically as addictive as possible to keep you on that platform as long as possible. And it's working. I have spent a long time scrolling through fucking Instagram reels and TikToks. It's bad, right? It's unhealthy. It's impacted videos. It's done all kinds of shit in my life. It's terrible. I missed great opportunities because of it. It's awful. I miss school deadlines. I miss work deadlines. It's awful, right? And a lot of people are feeling the same thing. Put the fucking phone down, I don't like to sign to this sort of sentiment, but I'm going to say it here. It is the damn phone, right? This is something that older generations will try to say that all of our problems are because of our cell phones. It's not. But I do think that cell phones do play a role in that. And I think that a lot of people are struggling to find their passion because of social media. They're seeing social media, this idea where we are able to post our facades, our ideal lives that we get to curate, right? And that's something new. Other generations didn't really have that unless you were an actor or a celebrity, but everybody kind of knew that there's a difference between a person and a celebrity. But that gap has gotten so small with so many people posting their quote unquote personal lives. And the truth is that they're really not. They're posting the parts of their life that they want you to see. And I genuinely think that it starts by getting off of social media a little bit. I'm not one of these people that says that you need to disconnect completely. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, you need to delete your social media account tomorrow or anything like that. No, I'm not like that at fucking all. I have an opinion that I think social media has done a lot of great. It's helped me grow here on this channel. It's helped me grow professionally. But is it healthy? No, it's not. And I just feel that a lot of people can start by doing that. And if you're not willing to take that small step, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I knew one of my freshman roommates was kind of in this boat where he was struggling a lot. And, I tried to help him a bit, because obviously I like to talk about mental health and all this shit. And I tried to help. And I was like, all right, so, and I gave him my typical rundown, which is, hey, we're going to start it really simple. Let's organize your room. And he immediately shut that down and said, that won't work. was like, have you tried it before? It's like, well, no. I was like, okay, then how do you know it's not going to work? I just know it's not going to work for me. You haven't tried it, buddy. The first time that I heard that shit when I was like, it was middle COVID or whatever. First time I heard that shit, I thought it's not going to work. It does, right? And the same thing happens with social media. Trying small things like this is really important, right? Is because the other thing is too, is that it's very addictive. It's probably a fucking addiction for you. And because of that, your brain doesn't want to give it up. Your immediate reaction is, ugh. You know, like your immediate reaction is no. You know, it's sort of like that idea of, oh, I can stop when I want to sort of thing, you know, like gambling or alcohol. It's the same thing. But, you know, that's the biggest piece that I want you to look at is like, why do you think you're wasting your life? Now, I will say when I felt like I was wasting my life, a lot of it was because at that time in my life, I was still trying to entertain my parents. And what I mean by that is that I was trying really hard to make them proud. And you need to stop fucking doing that, because the truth is you are never going to make other people happy. You are never going to make other people proud. You need to make yourself proud, right? And there's aspects where you can get your parents to be proud of you and you're like going to feel good about it. But the truth is that you need to be able to make yourself proud. You need to be able to tell yourself that I'm doing pretty fucking good and I'm proud of the person that I have become. So work on that. Don't worry about, oh, I'm wasting my time. I feel like a fuck up because in my parents' eyes, I'm a fuck up. No, you're not. That is one person's opinion. Stop that shit. I know lots of people that will sit there and try to say that, oh, my mother's opinion on my work is the most important. It's you know, I had a professor my sophomore year of college when I was taking a comedian course, and he's like, look, you know who's the worst person to ask for critical feedback? Your mother and your best friends. Like, those are the worst, right? I know that's pretty typical, you know, but I cannot tell you how many people I've met in my life that say, oh, well, I trust my mother's feedback. Bro, your mother doesn't know fucking shit, okay? Most moms don't. It could be that your mom knows something, but like if I show my mom a video or I show her the Max Payne video, bro, she's gonna have no fucking clue what she's looking at. I will never forget. I look back on this really funny. When I made that Sesame Street documentary, literally 5 fucking years ago or whatever at this point, or 4, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's not even on the channel. Don't bother going to look for it because it's really bad. I remember posting that and my mom, my dad, and like some of my immediate family being like, wow, this is really good. You're really talented or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Make the career out of this. And it's good for like a first attempt, but it's so fucking dog shit. Like, if I remember right, for some reason, I like exported it at 1080, even though the video file in Premiere was set to 720 or something like that. I don't remember. It's been so long, but like, it was just so bad. Like, if I look back on that video, it's terrible, you know? So I would just genuinely recommend, do not just focus on trying to entertain your parents. Like, genuinely, I think that's why so many people fail in life and why so many people struggle for so long trying to entertain their family. And I think another big piece of advice that I want to give you is examine what is your value of success? What is your value of I'm done wasting my life, right? Because everybody has a different picture of it. For me, it's spending a little less time on social media. It's working a little bit more, getting a little healthier. You know, these things that sort of like are pretty basic metrics, but like, what's your thing? Is it being a millionaire? Like, let's set realistic goals and then we can work up to that big goal of being a millionaire, right? Like, for example, I'll use myself, right? You know, a lot of these goals are kind of outdated, but like kind of like what I did when I really wanted to get my life set when I kind of started Life Advice. Was I was like, okay, so we're currently sitting at like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like 170 subs or something like that. It's like, okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to be able to hit 500. That was my first goal, is I want to hit 500 at some point. And then I started working towards 500. And once I hit 500, I was able to work on something else. And I've done this with school too, when it comes to grades, is that you need to set a small goal. Once you crush that small goal, you're going to want to achieve a bigger goal. So when it comes to getting your life on track, when it comes to improving your life, you need to start small and then work your way up, you know? Like, it's like if I want to run a marathon, I don't run a full marathon the next morning when I'm fat as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, if I have no running experience, I would not go run a marathon tomorrow, right? If I wanted to become the best boxer in the world, I wouldn't go fucking fight John Jones tomorrow. If I wanted to be the best gamer in the world, I would not immediately try to beat Ninja in a box fight in Fortnite, right? If I wanted to do these things, I wouldn't go and do that. I would work towards those goals. For example, if I wanted to run a marathon tomorrow, I'm running a mile. Or you can even start smaller. I'm running a half mile or whatever your starting pace is, right? And same with like, if I want to be the best boxer in the world, I'm going to sign up for sparring classes tomorrow and I'm going to see where I'm sitting. Then from there, we're going to be able to figure out, okay, so I want to be somebody that's able to win most street fights, let's say, right? And that is a goal for most fighters and things like that, is like, you know, like, okay, I can beat most average people in a fight and work our way up from there. Fortnite, I want to be the best Fortnite player in the world or whatever, you know, best gamer in the world. Okay, let's pick a ranked mode and let's start fucking grinding that shit out. This season, I'm not going to be stuck in silver. I'm going to go to gold, you know, or I'm going to find a good squad or whatever it is. I'm going to start looking at some small clans and work my way up, you know. A lot of people have these goals where they need to be, oh, I'm going to shoot for the top. And a lot of people, if they don't hit those big goals right away, they give up. They give the fuck up. You know why? Because you're burnt out after a week, you know. And if you say to yourself, I want to be rich, I want to be successful, and you go, okay, I'm going to be rich and successful in 6 months, good luck, buddy. What your goal should actually be is, I'm going to establish how am I going to get successful in 6 months. You know, for me, let's use the channel again, I guess, you know, like if I look at what I want to be, right? This is a couple years ago, like when I kind of started doing life advice and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I want to be able to create a small audience where I can just sit down, have good chats with you guys. You know, that was kind of like the generalized thing that I was kind of reaching for. And I was able to do that in a couple months. And then from there, I looked at it and I said, okay, so next what I want to be able to do is that I want to be able to cultivate an audience where I can answer questions every week. That was the next thing I did. So then I started promoting that. I started working small towards those things. I started asking friends for questions. I started doing shit like that. And once you establish yourself and you're able to establish small goals, those big goals become attainable. And I think it's okay to write down those big goals. What I would actually do is at the top of a page, I would write the giant goal. Like, let's just say your goal is I want to be a millionaire. Okay, cool. Then we're going to basically make a chart where we can a tree chart where we can kind of, almost looks like a family tree, where you can basically kind of go down a line and be like, okay, so then beyond this is like, okay, being able to, I don't know, hire 50 people or whatever your goal is to get a million or whatever. And you're just going to work backwards basically. And you're going to figure out at the most basic level, what is the first step that I need to do to be successful? What is the first step that I need to do to get my life on track? You know, and like for me right now, if I were in your shoes, right? If I feel like my life's in a pretty good spot, but let's say I wanted to improve my life tomorrow. What I would do is I would sit down and my top goal at the very top would be improve my life. And I would work my way backwards and I would say, feel better. You know, at the very, very top would still say the same thing. Right below that, I would say, I don't know, can run 2 miles without a break or whatever, you know? And then under that, to keep writing down smaller and smaller goals. And then at the very bottom would, you know, there would be things about working out. There would be things about fixing my nutrition. There'd be things about fixing my sleep schedule. Those are things that I want to fix, right? You know, those are kind of some of my things that I want to focus on in this next year and a half or whatever. So for me, that is a major thing in my life. And that is a major thing that I want to be able to improve on. But you can't get the big goal if you don't work on the small goals. And I think that's what a lot of people in our generation are facing, because our parents are people that are relatively successful, you know, millennials and, well, not millennials. Our parents aren't millennials, you know, but our parents are young Gen Xers, typically. Some of them are older millennials, but, you know, whatever. And a lot of them feel that their parents are very successful. And that's true. A lot of them earn a decent amount and they're homeowners and all that stuff. And they told us, go to college and you'll be able to succeed. And if that's not working for you, then you need to stop listening to them and make your own plan. A lot of people have this issue where they only listen to people around them. And I'm even guilty of it, brother. If you're sitting here listening to me and being like, this dude has all the answers, I don't have them all. You know, everything doesn't work for everyone. And I can tell you my philosophies, I can tell you my logic, I can do these things, and I can try to improve your life. But you also need to figure out what works for you, and what will change you, what will improve your life. But I really would recommend take a step back from social media. I think it's a really important step into not wasting your day away. I truly do believe that. A good comparison, I actually heard it on a podcast the other day. Woody's Gamertag, you know, the boy that inspired this all. He was talking about TikToks with FPS Russia and Merkaderka, and he said something along the lines of like, if I spent 10 hours watching all of the Lord of the Rings, I would be happy. If I spent 10 hours watching TikTok, I would hate my life. I wish I could do a redo. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a perfect way of putting it. And yeah, so really excited to hear what you do, man. I believe in you. You got this, brother. But anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you for stopping in. As always, it does mean a lot to me. If you're interested, there's a link to join our Discord in the description. There's also a link, once again, to submit a question via the Google form if you'd like. And as always, guys, I really appreciate your guys' support. And we're coming up on episode 100 of this. I don't know what we're going to do for it, truthfully. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.